Hello everybody, this is Andy, and welcome to episode 8 of All the Mod 6 to the Skies. And today, we're going to continue with magic and building up some infrastructure. In a couple of episodes, I think you're going to get quite a bit of whiplash, as am I, because with the infrastructure we have in place, we are very quickly approaching the end game. I was looking at the creative items earlier, and they're not super hard to make of the ones that we can make. Like, we can make this pretty easily. The only big thing is that we need to make all the mod stars, ATM star. This is basically the quintessential crafting recipe in this pack, and it requires us to get into, one, create, which I've never played with before, and a lot of... looks just like recipes and a lot of this stuff, but we'll have to do like some potion brewing and all that kind of stuff and set up some more infrastructure. So first things first, let's look at Britannia or Astral Sorcery. I'm not sure. Let's do Britannia first. I think Britannia's a little bit more fun. So we're gonna need some Ender Pearls or Mana Pearls and Mana Steel, and I think some Mana Dust as well. So let's throw some Gunpowder in this guy. Half a stack should be fine. And I guess some Mana Diamonds? Yeah, we'll do half a stack of these as well. These are really expensive. Let's use both of our crafting thingies because we can. The first thing we want to do to get into the next parts of Britannia are to make these 5 basic runes. Rune of Water, Rune of Fire, Rune of Earth, Rune of Air, and Rune of Mana. I'm going to start with this one because it's incredibly simple, and it's only used in like 1 or 2 things. So yeah, we're trying to make the terrestrial agglomeration plate, which is how you make terra steel, which is useful to make, well, these things we were trying to make the hard way earlier, and pylons. Pylons we're going to need to trade with the elves and get further into Britannia and progress onward and just onward. And is that the recipe, or is it one more of these? Yeah, so you throw the recipe on there, you just drop the items directly on there, it'll start firing from Gaia spreaders into this thing as it requests the mana. Then we're going to need a bit of living wood, just like this. Since as you see over here, the craft is ready, toss a living wood on, complete the craft, and it's incredibly loud. These mostly just require us to gather items and throw them on the thing. I don't think these recipes are changed at all, so they all should be fairly simple, except for maybe the mushroom. I don't know if the mushroom is going to be all that simple. I don't know if we have mushrooms. However, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and craft all of these, and then we can get on with making some terra steel. Turns out I have way more mushrooms than I know what to do with. I have no idea where these things are coming from, but I'll take it. And here is the last rune craft. Okay, perfect. Still incredibly loud, didn't turn the sounds down. So we have the basic runes now, and we can turn these into the terrestrial agglomeration plate, and we should have everything we just need to do that. I might just have to turn a little bit of lapis into some blocks, and then turn one of our mana steel pieces into blocks, and then it should just be there. Okay, perfect. So we also need some lapis for this, so let's grab the lapis, and we have living rock. So, let's move this guy and make a place for the altar. If I'm correct, this is the pattern that needs to go underneath the terrestrial agglomeration plate to make it work. You put a spark on it, you put a spark on some of your mana pools so they can transfer mana into this craft, and pretty much only one craft can be done on this thing, and that is the terra steel recipe, which is this. Now, if I'm correct, we don't have enough mana in these pools to actually finish the craft. You need about half a pool total. We have just under half, so why don't we switch gears and do a little bit of astral sorcery. And my teleporter should be in here, right? We can just teleport right up there. Oh, I'm really glad I did this. This is so nice. Okay, the stars are coming up. Let's get to crafting a little bit. First thing I want to make is probably a linking tool and some crystal lenses. What is the best rock crystal that we have in here? Oh, this has changed. I forgot that this changed. I don't really know what would be best? Probably collection rate? Let's do this. We also need a little bit of infused wood for crafting, which I believe is just throw oak logs in there, and it becomes the infused wood blocks. And it didn't turn them all, but that should be enough for now. We turn them into planks like that, I guess. Is this vibrant infused wood? It looks pretty. It's not used for anything. What does this need? It needs engraved, so we need to craft planks and then do another craft with them. Let me do that really quickly. All right, crystal lenses, and it looks like we'll get 3 of them from this craft, so that will be useful. And come on. Thank you. Perfect. So now we can purity. So I guess purity is the trait you care about. So I assume this is okay. Let's try and make a collector crystal. I don't know if we can make a celestial one, so maybe we'll make a cheap collector crystal. Actually, I took a look at the quests really quickly just to make sure we don't get given one. We do get given a collector crystal, so what we can do pretty much is set this close by, and then we can link this to our crafting table to let us craft during the day better, or we can put, say, a lens down on a pedestal like this, and grab some iron ore, which we hopefully have. Do I have no iron ore? Am I processing my iron ore? It's perfectly alright that we're processing our ores. We have a way to make them again through the combiner because we have mechanism. So what we can do is put some cobblestone in the bottom, iron ore in the top, and it will very slowly combine that into a true iron ore that we can then go and link up to our thing to make star metal. This is the recipe, by the way. You link it up and use the linking tool, and I'll show you in a second. So, I don't know, I'll make like 20 of these. I made some more iron dust, so this should be perfectly fine and dandy. Well, I forgot to craft the linking tool during the night, and it's daytime again, so I have to wait 10 minutes to do astral stuff. So let's go ahead and put this stuff away. I don't know how many you can link up to one thing, but we'll have just a wall of 20 iron ore that goes all at once. Anyways, let's go back down to the base and do a little bit more Britannia because I think... Excuse me? What's going on? I did notice while I was making the astral sorcery area a little bit bigger up there that I had some random cobblestone in my inventory. I guess I accidentally messed something up and deleted this patch. I mean, whatever, I guess, but weird. Anyways, back to Britannia. Hopefully this thing has been working hard, and we should have just enough to make 1 Terra Steel. To make this, we need mana steel, mana diamond, and mana pearl. And you just toss them on here, and it should pull from all of the sparks and do the craft. The more mana pools you have attached, the faster it can pull mana, and the faster the craft will happen, which, I guess, if you care. And now we can turn this into Terra Steel nuggets, and do our best to get into trading with the elves. To trade with the elves, we need to build a elven gateway portal thing. I don't know. It's not a portal you can actually go through. So for now, I think we can just place it right here. You need a gateway core in the center, and then it's essentially just a 3x3 nether portal with a little bit of glimmering living wood in the center of it. So this should, in theory, be the shape unless I'm entirely incorrect. And then you need 2 mana pools close by. I like to put them just right there. Put Natura pylons, which are easy crafting recipe, on top of them, like that, I guess. And you need about 1/8 of a mana pool to open this thing up. As you can see, I went and added just about 1/8 into each of these. It'll pull about half of that from each. There is no cost to keep the portal active, but every time you trade, it will also use a little bit of mana. So you whack this guy, portal opens, and then you can trade with the elves. I'm going to put the excess mana back into this mana pool, and what do we do next? I went ahead and started working on getting some stuff together to make garden cloches, because that's how we're going to grow pumpkins, because we're going to use pumpkins to make mana using the Kekamiris flower and the astral sorcery thing that turns pumpkins into cakes. So we should very soon be able to make our linking tool. So let's once again change courses and do some more astral sorcery now that it's nighttime again. And we're getting close. Now we should be ready to go. And this is the linking tool. Come on. Very pretty, but give me the thing. Thank you. Okay, so we link this to this, and we should see a thing. Yep. And then we link this to all of these guys. And oh, that is incredibly quick. I thought it would be much, much slower. Fine with me. I am going to turn all of these bad boys into... Oh, can it only shine on one at a time? Oh, it's very fast, but it only shines on one at a time. The prism can do multiple at a time. Okay. With our first bit of star metal, we should also be able to make this linking tool, or this star metal cutting tool. You can't just put these in a grinder anymore. You have to literally whack them in world to get the dust. So where's my resonating wand? There we go. And if I'm correct, this is how it works. You toss it down, and your magnet doesn't pick it up immediately. That'd be pretty cool. And then you hit it. Yeah, you literally just whack it for a while, and it turns into dust. I don't know how much dust we need. I'll probably just make like 4 or 5 right now, so we can use it sparingly. What do I want to do next? Maybe we should make an infusion altar so we can get a good collector crystal. Actually, what we want to do now is begin creating these celestial crystals. And the way that we do that is we throw a bucket of starlight in world, throw a stardust in there, throw a rock crystal in there. Unless, yes, nothing has changed. I was going to say unless nothing has changed, this should begin emitting particles. And my magnet is going to be the worst, so he gets to come off my body for the time being. Once they're done emitting particles, they leave this little cluster behind. Eventually, over time, this will grow and turn into a stage 4 cluster. I believe, as you can see up over here, when I don't have the inventory open, it says stage 0. We want that to go up to 4, and then we can harvest it to get a celestial crystal and hopefully a little bit of stardust back. I think it is affected by fortune, so maybe we should make a fortune tool if we're going to do that, but star metal's not that hard to come by. I'm going to make 8 of these guys, and hopefully we'll get a good one. Did you steal these guys'... Oh, come on, dude. What was I doing last? I have no idea. It's been a hot second. But right now, we're making some vacuum tubes, so we can make some garden cloches. And this engineer's workbench has always been incredibly just not great at doing its job, but we just needed to make some of those vacuum tubes so we can order the garden cloches, and let's go ahead and go with 8 maybe? I think that'll be good. And now there's a second thing of grass over here, so I'm going to move the mana production into this square. So let's throw these 8 garden cloches here. I believe I have pumpkin seeds, and I'm going to go ahead and set this up a little bit, and hopefully everything goes smoothly. I'll be back in just a moment. Alright, here's the system to automatically make and place pumpkins. The garden cloches do their thing. I'm supplying them bone meal from an ender chest from the IMI system. They get power from the back into the sides and water into the fronts, and they export right here, which I just pull out, shove into a drawer, shove into block placers, and place the blocks down. All we need to do is get to a celestial collector crystal and shine the light on these so they'll turn into cakes. And then we need a Kekamiris. So since it's daytime, let's make a Kekamiris. And just like that, it has once again been 5 days since I've recorded. I'm sorry. School's really getting to me, and a bunch of other things. So, I'm doing my best. Also, I did finish this up. I don't think I mentioned that since I last recorded, but wait, no, I did mention it, right? I don't think it's working fast enough. These block placers, I know the Kekamiris can eat a lot faster than this can produce. This produces 8 pumpkins every 40-ish seconds. I don't know exactly how long it takes the garden cloche to work, but it's not very fast. I might need to double, triple, whatever up this thing because it's not the coolest. Not the coolest. Things have changed significantly in the thermal mod, so I need a little bit of snow to make the Rune of Winter, to make the Rune of Gluttony, to make the Kekamuris, because, you know, it requires the Rune of Gluttony, and the Rune of Gluttony requires the Rune of Winter, which requires snow. So we need to cool off a little bit of water to make some ice, because I need to make packed ice, because that's required for something called the Blast Chiller, and this can be used to make a bunch of things, including snow and snowballs. So, actually, how do I make this? That's very easy. 20 ice should be enough. Actually, I'll let it finish off its thing, but we should be able to turn this into packed ice somehow, right? Apparently, it's literally just a crafting recipe. So, with the Blast Chiller, I should maybe, hopefully, just be able to add this recipe in here, and everything should be good to go. Do I have Invar gears? No, I do not. Can I add Invar gears? Almost definitely. And let me put the recipes in here somewhere. And here we go, some snowballs. I got these guys, so we should be a lot faster at doing the job. However, that should be perfectly fine for now. I only need 2 blocks of snow, and hopefully that is everything for the Rune of Winter. No, I need to make a cake somehow. I do have a cow still, right? Yeah, okay, I'll make a cake. It is nighttime, so I wanted to come check on these, and yeah, I left the game running for a little while, not too long, but it does look like we have celestial crystal clusters, and that should give us, yeah, I think we get a bonus purity, shape, tool durability. That's not bad. That's good for a tool if we want to use it. It does give us bonus stardust. What we really want, I think, understanding, or there seems to be something here, but your understanding is not revealed yet. Interesting, interesting. Size and purity. This might be a decent one for a collector crystal. However, I might let the rest of these grow, or do I even care? A collector crystal of any kind, a celestial collector crystal of any kind, is really, really good. I think we do need to upgrade to the celestial altar, so we can use one of our crappy ones to do that. Okay, let's do that right now. All right, there's the recipe. Whack it, and it'll take its time doing its thing. I'm not going to make you watch this, because it might take like a whole minute. Sometimes this thing takes forever to craft. Oh, no. I think the last one, the Celestial 2 Iridescent Altar, takes a million years to craft. However, this one seems to be alright. However, there is also, I keep saying however, there is a entirely different structure for this one, so I'm going to need to build that really quickly, and we'll see where we get. Alright, there we go. This will be the final place where our altar stays. I believe it is centered perfectly in this chunk, which is kind of nice. The next upgrade to the iridescent altar only adds blocks to this structure, so we don't really have to worry about changing this anymore. And if I've done this correctly, we should see, yes, okay, perfect. Let's see how much starlight this collector crystal gives us, even though we don't have the structure to make it better of any kind, and it's just kind of a crappy collector crystal. Actually, that's a pretty solid collector crystal for the not celestial version of it. Hopefully this gives, there was a noise there. Oh, hey guys, please leave, please leave, please leave. Thank you. Hopefully this gives a ton of starlight. Maybe I can even do some crafting during the day. Ooh, I can definitely do some crafting during the day. How much does this take? It requires us to make the infusion altar of some sort. What is that called? The starlight infuser? Let's make this. Alright, here we go. The infusion altar. Wait, starlight infuser? Yeah, that's what it is. Very loud. Pretty colors, though. I really like the crafting on this version of the altar. Alright, give me my thing, please. Any day now. Ah, yes, there we go. Okay, perfect. This has an incredibly complex recipe, but we need it for this. I don't think there's any other way to make resonating gems. Yeah. It's used for a couple of other things, like infusing crystal swords. We don't need that, and I guess you can get a lot of diamonds and emeralds from it. But, this is a nice recipe too, the glass painted glass lens. But other than that, there's no real reason to use it, I don't believe. Oh, interesting. This structure has changed significantly since 1.12. It's much smaller than it used to be. And that makes sense. Like, this is not a very useful altar in most packs unless it's configured differently from standard. So the fact that it has an incredibly large structure in 1.12 doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I like this a lot, actually. I'm going to build this, and I'll be right back. And unless I've made this structure incorrectly, we should be able to toss that bad boy on there, whack it with this, and it will infuse the gem. And these are some very pretty particles, not gonna lie. They made some great updates in 1.16. And we have a resonating gem. Okay, perfect. We can try and start it again. It might go, but as you can see, it doesn't because it sucked up one of the sources here. It looks like it's this one. So we need to replace that. I got a bucket, or I had a bucket in my inventory. I took it out, forgot that I do need it occasionally here. And we just fill in that bad boy and whack it with a resonating wand. Easy enough. And as you can see, it doesn't always steal your starlight bucket. Sometimes it just does the craft and doesn't use up any starlight, so you can just start again. It's kind of rare, but it is nice occasionally. I thought the recipe in J here was just being weird. However, you hover over this guy, and it says you need an attuned celestial crystal for this. Fair enough. It looks like even with this tier 1 collector crystal, we get to full starlight at night in the celestial altar, which is a lot of starlight. However, we do want to make the attunement altar, which means I'll need a rock crystal, 2 star metals. Let me gather this stuff up. And here's the recipe for the attunement altar. Whack it, and it should go. Now, this is an oh, that's a very pretty thing. This is an incredibly large structure. If we look in the astral tome, we should be able to see if I'm in the correct section, which I am not. I'm in constellation. We ought to be in attunement. This thing is very large. I believe it's 17 by 17 of sooty marble in the center, and then marble arches around the outside, and it's big. Let me build it. And if you've done it correctly, little sparkles show up. So, looks like I did it correctly. It is incredibly large, but it is useful. And I believe you do have to attune at night, so we should probably wait till night to do anything more here. Why don't we go work on Britannia a little bit more then? All right, cake, wool, snow, and then water and earth. These runes used in crafting the tier 2 and tier 3 runes are returned on the runic altar, unless specifically set by the pack to not return them. However, I don't think I've ever played a pack that doesn't return them, because usually what they do is they just make the runes more expensive. And where's my wand? It is right here. I need a singular piece of... Wow, this jetpack is a little rough. I need a singular piece of living rock. Whack it. Get the rune of winter and my runes back. And we ought to be able to make one of these with fire, winter, and 2 mana diamonds. Okay. Mana diamonds. And we have fire on me. So 2 mana diamonds, fire, winter. And that's a rune of gluttony. So I probably want to make 2 of these bad boys. And the second one. There we go. 2 runes of gluttony. And we have a spare rune of winter, so we can shove this stuff in here. These runes of gluttony will get used up, but they're actually really cheap to craft. They effectively only cost the 2 mana diamonds. So let me get a little bit of pixie dust, which is mana pearls, and these flowers, and we can begin crafting our Kekimurises. And I don't think we've actually traded with the elves yet. So it's as simple as I believe I explained earlier. Throw the thing in there. It'll throw the thing back to you. And, oh, I thought I only got 1 there. You're supposed to get 1-to-1 for this. So 1 mana pearl turns into 1 pixie dust. There's some lore involved with this. I don't really know about it. I've read it. I forgot. And I don't really care that much. So, you know, fun mod, I love it, but I'm more of a tech guy in Minecraft. So, here is the pixie dust, rune of gluttony, 2 of those, 2 of those, 2 of those, and I just need a seed, and we can make our Kekhimerus. I probably need 2 seeds, because I'm trying to make 2 of these guys, and bam, and then we should be able to do that. Click with an empty hand, throw the seed in, and we have 2 Kekhimeruses just like that. And if we place them here, I believe they have a fairly large range, though I can't look at it unless I make the goggle things. We're going to give these guys elven mana spreaders and just normal mana pools, and then we'll make a mana battery eventually. Apparently I don't have any mana pools crafted up. These are just made with trading living wood with the elves to get dream wood, and then you just craft them like that. Elementium is also a trade with the elves. It is just 2 mana steel turns into 1 elementium. We are not taking any half measures. I don't think we need this extensive of Britannia setup. However, this is a fun, easier pack, and it's nice to play with mods in a way that like you usually would in an expert pack, but just like set it up so you have infinite of everything. So it's also, I think, helpful for you guys maybe if you ever choose to play expert packs. Like, this is the base setup for something you'd want to have for a setup that you want to or have to make a ton of Terra Steel on. So what we have here is a bunch of mana pools with sparks. We're gonna have 3 crafting mana pools, one with no thing under it, one with the Conjuration Catalyst, one with the what's it called, Catalyst, one with the Alchemy Catalyst. These 3 will get dominant sparks, which means they'll pull from all mana pools around them to fill themselves up. As you can see, this guy, or all 3 of them, are pulling from these mana pools because they also have sparks on them. Sparks are a way of transferring mana very quickly, as we saw with the terrestrial agglomeration plate, but if you don't have access to these augments, it's very hard to transfer from mana pool to mana pool with sparks. From these Kekhimeruses, we are sending mana into the elven spreaders into this mana pool. We want to be able to send that mana from here into these mana pools and these mana pools. This will be our mana battery. The way we do that is we put a recessive augment on this spark. So these guys will pull from all mana pools around it. This will push to all mana pools around it, and we just now can have a ton of mana as soon as we get a prism lens to turn these guys into cakes. I broke a few more celestial crystals, and I found one with collection rate 3. I think that's the kind of one we'll want to turn into a collector crystal to use in various things. However, we need to attune that to something, which means, how night is it? Not very night yet. We need to find the constellations, and the way that's done is by making the constellation papers. We might have to make them specifically, like, 1 by 1. That's a little obnoxious. You know what, though? Let's probably save that for next time. I think we have done a lot here, and I'm very happy with where we are. Next time we can finish Britannia and Astra Sorcery, get attuned to a constellation, and hopefully get back into the tech swing of things, and maybe start looking at the All the Mods star. I know there are a couple more magic mods we need to go through, and we probably want to get into bees at some point to create infinite resources. However, for now, I am very happy. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.